Hello YouTube viewers, I'm taking a bit of a risk here. It is 9 AM over here in South Africa. It's the 8th of March 2018. It's the day after the release of Rift Prime, for me anyway. It is about 11 PM PST, Pacific Time, in the US. And yeah, I have actually switched off the sound on this particular video because the other one got flagged for various copyright things, believe it or not. So I'm going to tell you what Rift is, or Rift Prime is, and what Rift Prime isn't. Number one, let me, without any hesitation, say that I would never ever play Rift or support Rift.
Fury of the Ascended.
Okay, I don't want to do that.
Open your ability.
All right, I would never pay for this on live, so to speak. If I had the time to actually play this game, I bought this purely as an experiment to see what it's like. This is Rift Prime. It's a separate ability that's available to people that subscribe to Rift for $15 a month. It's not available to the free-to-pay public. Earlier in the night, when the game got released, there was a queue to actually get into the server. Looks like some people have been busy playing though. They did shut down the server at about 2 hours or so after the actual game came out. It appears the Guardian side, as usual, is more busy than the Defiance side. And yeah, it's not bad. I'll tell you what it is though and what it isn't. A lot of people seem to think it is Rift Chocolate Edition or Vanilla, or whatever you want to call it. It's not that at all. It is a new client from 2018 that has had a level cap put into it of level 50. And all your trees and abilities are pretty much the same as live. So I'm not quite sure how the balance will work out. I must say it's a very risky thing that Tryon did, and I think I know why they did what they did. I think because the dev team has taken such a knock in recent months with their guys resigning, going to other companies, and also getting moved to other projects. I think they decided, well, this is probably the easiest way to bring in some money and to give people what they want, which is essentially a game without much of a cash shop. Buying my soul here. There we go.
I hope you come again.
Okay, so let's show you the cash shop first of all. I just want to move out of the way of this thing because this thing's making a heck of a noise, whatever this is. Let's walk around here. Oh, there's a little cat there. The game's engine is still the 2011 engine. It has been modified a tiny bit. And I see it looks like a lot of European people were actually watching my stream last night. I had about 15 or 20 people watching at one point. But this morning, it looks like no one's on. So the Americans aren't watching me. That sucks so well. What can you do, eh? So, there's a little quest here. The Master Fisher.
What did you catch today?
Visit Palometa in Kalari Refuge.
Good luck.
All right. So, the engine, I'll show you a few. It's exactly the same client as that's on live. I've currently got the game running at about 4K. It seems to have done something funny with my screen and set it to that resolution, which is 1440, but it looks okay. And I've got it downscaled to 1080p on my output over here. It's running okay. I'm getting about 35 frames per second inside the 35, 37 inside the complex over here, the main city, the early city. That's always been a problem with Rift. It's got a netcode problem. That is to say, you can be out in the open world and have some really beautiful graphics and things, but the second somebody comes onto the screen and there's interaction, that's when the game's frames per second seems to plummet. I've not seen it in many other games, actually. Ability lag and frames per second affected by other players on the screen in the manner that this is. It's bizarre that the frames per second is so directly tied to having other players in close proximity. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Eh? So, as you can see, it's basically the same client. Nothing has changed here. It's all pretty much the same. The 2018 client. And in fact, if I can get in here, you'll see when you launch it, there's Rift and there's Rift Prime, but there's no updates. It basically runs off the same thing. So, yeah, it's a very clever technique they've used with, look, they've put some effort into it, make no mistake, they have actually made some effort. Apparently there's auto mentoring, which I haven't seen yet. I don't understand. I believe there was auto mentoring in the game, but I haven't found it. I've walked into mobs that were significantly higher than me, so I don't know where exactly that auto mentoring takes place. In other words, scaling to my level. Maybe it's only in dungeons, who knows. But yeah, the game apparently supports true multi-core, which isn't really the case. It shifts some of the shadows across to the extra cores. It's not a real multi-core game. And it's, like I said, it's the live client that is running another server, which has got its own little menu item on the glyph over here, which, for all intention purposes, they could have just listed it as another server, as far as I'm concerned, because all the changes are basically client side. It's using the same background, it would appear. Now, the cache shop is the main thing that people obviously be curious about. I don't know what this is all about. I thought there was going to be no boosts and things, but if you see over here, it says the bundle contains 3-day... I don't know if this unlocks maybe later. Oh, this bloody thing makes such a noise. Let me move out the way here. Alright. So, I don't know if this unlocks at a certain point. For example, I can buy this with cash if I want. And these don't seem to have prices, so I don't know how the heck this actually all works. Does it... I don't know if these are bugs that are carried through, or what it is, but yeah, so this is the start screen. You can see there are cosmetic things. You can buy the extended hairstyle set. Another little thing, let's say for example you unlock all this stuff here, because this is using different credits to the live server. You've actually got to buy what they call prime credits. They're not the normal credits. So now you buy all the stuff on your Prime account. The Prime server is only going to be valid for about 9 months to a year, all right? It's what they call a progression server. In other words, you are going to play through the game, and as people unlock the latest raid content, they're going to unlock different expansions. So it'll go from Rift, Plains of Telara, which is what we're in at the moment, all up to level 50. You can see the map over here. That's the entire area, basically. All right, I've got a quest there to hand in and speak to people. It's obviously bugged out because it's showing me everybody. Oh, those are healers I've got to speak to. All right, so it's actually quite a nice quest to leave on there because I can see where every healer in the game is. All right, so that's it. That's all you have unlocked. Then when people progress through the, I don't know, the River of Souls event, whatever it is, then you will... Good morning, Hallmark. Welcome. So when you progress through it, you're eventually going to get to the new stuff. They'll bring out the Storm Legion expansion, and then everybody's going to work through that content, and they're going to get to the Nightmare Tide, which is pretty much where Rift started going downhill a tiny bit with their quality control. Lots of bugs in the original Minds of Madness. It's certainly where I decided to really not bother playing anymore, taking the game seriously. And then, God help us, Starfall failure or prophecy, that abortion, the current live game, that's eventually what will be the end game, I imagine. So I don't know what they're going to do about the grind, because they're not going to have any boosts off it. And I hope to goodness that they are true to their word and don't offer any sort of packs to boost people along, because that's what they said essentially. That's what the essence of the server is, that you are not going to be given boosts, and there's not going to be any pay-to-win elements in the game whatsoever. So, yeah, the cash shop, let's have a look at that one. I'm talking too much here. So, we have a mount which costs, it's about 750 credits is the equivalent of $5. So that's about, whoa, that's quite a bit of money. That's like, what, is that 30? No, it can't be. That's $20 for a mount, okay, roughly. And that's $20 for a hair set bundle, and that's about $5 for extended style set. And that's a skin bundle for about $10 or $12. So you can buy these things. I'd love to know what's going to happen if you have this on live already, though, and then when your character gets transferred across to your live at the end of this experiment. Are they going to give you credits for the things you already own, or what? Because, yeah, there's another mount which is also quite expensive. It's about, what's that, $25 or so. Okay. So, yeah, they've got some services in the game. They've got a faction-changing scroll, which is quite expensive. A last name scroll, all right. So you can add a new last name. It's about, what's that, $3 or so. Rename your character. It's about $8 or so. These are things you can buy with Platinum. Rename your guild. That's quite expensive. That's yeah, that's almost $20, $21 or so. Planar essence removal tools. See, there's no price next to some of these things, so maybe they only unlock at a certain level. Okay. Then you have these Warfront announcers. Those are like, what's that, $2, $3 a pop. I've never understood these, never used one. Don't get it. But anyway, there's a couple of those. Then the mounts, there's quite a substantial amount of mounts. I see this shiny Tartagon is here. This was quite embarrassing because people used to work their butts off to collect what they call artifacts in the game, which are like these collectible items. They glow all over the place, and then you make a set. And when you make a set, you go hand it in, and you get these little lucky tokens or lucky coins. And then when you had 100, you could finally have the exclusivity of riding this mount. And what did Tryon do? They made it purchasable for credits on the store. I mean, this is the problem they do. I don't like Tryon as a company. I don't trust them as a company, but I can see the value to what they've done here. It's basically you guaranteed to have, you know, the enjoyment in the content that was working at the time. So you can play through for 9 months, get your 9 times $15 worth of content, and then if you don't like it, just stop playing. Yeah, and I think they did this because what they wanted to do is have some time to work on live, because like I said, their dev team has been slaughtered. They've just had a mass exodus of devs, reshuffling and what have you. I don't think the company at the moment is really profitable in this particular franchise. So I think this was a pretty good move in their marketing department to, you know, this whole Rift Classic, trying to copy Warcraft. It is not Classic though. It's the 2018 game that has been cut down stripped of all content to level 50. I'm not sure how much balancing has occurred, and that's what you've got. It's a new economy, a new server, and you progress all on the same level. And that is apparently quite enough for some people, because last night, about 10 hours ago, when the game actually came out, there was substantial interest. There were queues of 100 people, 200 people waiting to get into the server. So whatever they've done, it appears to have worked. I wish this bloody screen was wider so that you can actually see what these mounts look like. But yeah, all the mounts from the game are in here. Lots of reskins. Some are available for Platinum. It's going to be quite a thing. It's going to be quite nice being on a server where your crafting materials initially are going to be worth something. Your professions might be worth something. So there are a lot of pluses to what they've done here. And much as I'm not a fan of Tryon, and I certainly, like I said, don't support them on live, it's a good idea, this, I think. By exfoliation, I can say that Warcraft's classic server is going to be a resounding success. Yeah, Astrally, I think that's the main thing here. Look, it's going to be debatable to see how well fine-tuned the actual content is when we get to the raid. I'm not going to play this game beyond probably today. I might muck around a bit. I just haven't got time at the moment to dedicate my time to an MMORPG. Especially, I don't have the nostalgia feeling. I'm just doing this as, just basically show it off. That's essentially why I'm doing it. And I haven't streamed in about a month, so I thought it's high time I actually better do a video and put something out. I'm probably going to delete last night's video because I was very, very tired. I had a fever, which I still have, but I had this bloody thing. It's like that Bioshock device, that robot. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing this full time, that's for sure. I find leveling up in this particular game quite mind-numbing at this point, considering I had about 10 level 70s or 60s at one stage, so yeah. They nerfed XP into oblivion. I reached level 12 in silver and all the quests are grayed out. But now, Heiderschacht, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I thought there was auto-mentoring in this game. I didn't see any auto-mentoring at all, so they didn't do that then. So, like I said, it's in typical Tryon fashion. I was more positive on my stream last night. It appears that they have just launched this thing and they'll fix the bugs later. It's quite sad, actually. So. But yeah, they're going to bite themselves. I mean, they've only got these guys have abused the trust of their players so often. I don't think they have a heck of a lot left to do. This might actually end up, if they don't get their act together with this, they're going to do a heck of a lot more damage than good. That's all I can say. These are all reskins, old mounts and what have you. So not much in the cash shop yet. Dimensions. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. What if you own this on live and now you transfer your character from here to live? Are they going to give you a credit? Why must people double pay for stuff and then basically have their stuff? So essentially they're leasing the stuff if they own it already and then it's gone. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Are they going to get rewards or what? But yeah, so that is the game, Rift Prime. It is not a nostalgia. It's nostalgic in the sense that yes, you'll be with other people doing the old content, but it's not nostalgia in that it's not the original chocolate Rift. The talent trees are all the new 2018 trees, and I don't think they've been balanced. I really don't. I stand under correction, but it doesn't look to me like anything's really changed here. It looks like it's normal actually. So. Yeah, 40 points in Druid. Okay, so some of these do unlock a bit earlier, it would appear. Okay, all right. So there has been some changes to these trees. Okay. Oh, looks like those guys from Game of Thrones. Shame, shame, shame. All right, there we go. And yeah, look, it's. What more can I say? It's. I said their advertising and marketing for this thing was pretty much a case of the bold giveth and the fine print taketh away. Oh, the auto mentoring is only in dungeons. Okay, well, that kind of sucks. So essentially, you're just going to have to do dungeons. The other thing about the game, you will unlock your... Let me see if I can actually... I'll go out here. Log out. A lot of the classes... well, not a lot of them. All the classes have a... All right, I'll just choose Guardians. I want to just choose one over here. You see over here, your roles are locked. So you've got to unlock those via gameplay. Normally by gathering Planerite, which is one of the events that the currencies from events that drops for world events and things like that. So you can unlock the other things eventually. I must say the cleric's support soul is broken from what I understand on live, and I don't think it'll be fixed. The other thing that's of great concern is you must realize, and this is mentioned on the forums recently, and as usual, Trine didn't even respond to it. Whenever you criticize them with something valid, they either move your post to some obscure forum, or alternatively, they'll just ignore it. And in this case, a lot of the souls in this game on live are not working. There's not been a single shred of major overhaul of any class balancing in about 11 months due to the massive number of classes that and devs that have been lost. But like I said, this is therefore a reasonably safe way for Tryon to buy themselves some time while hopefully they get their team together and, you know, get some money in by having people, you know, experience the nostalgia of the old game, even though it's with the new quality of life things. But it begs the question then, what the heck is going to happen to live? Because if pretty much everybody's subbing to this thing, I mean, the live servers were dead. I mean, completely frigging dead. What is going to happen to the game with live? It's just, is this maybe some sort of a attempt to garner their player base onto one server and eventually wind down all the other servers? You know, maybe they'll say, look, the free-to-play is just not worth it. We're going to make this one server, give you a free transfer to it, and that'll be one server they've got to manage instead of multiple servers. I mean, it seems to be the way it might actually end up going. But then again, they've got separate currencies, so who knows? Maybe they will just run it for a year and then wind it down. It's interesting. What happened with Rift when it got released is there was a massive influx. Apparently, there were like not necessarily players, but there was an influx of accounts that were created. There was about 2 million at one stage, I believe, and I speak under correction. I can't back that up. And then within a few months, I think by the numbers just started tapping off like crazy. And then it came out on Steam, and there was a rebirth. It certainly appears as if this particular game is active. I wonder how many people are 1 to 10. Oh, it seems to be active. I mean, there are people playing the game. Let's have a look for... You see, they got the Prime list in here still, but The primer isn't in the game. So, like I said, it's a very... You probably find it's a very hatched job of... look, it's busy. I mean, it's definitely busy. I wonder what the highest level is. They were having some tests popping up that people would hit level, 50 or whatever. Okay, they are the highest level appears to be level 21. That appears to be the highest level. And so they really have nerfed the game considerably. I see some familiar names here. All right, 15 to 19. A lot of people around the 15 zone. So these are probably people these are probably your average players that have been going for quite a while. And, probably since launch. So you're looking at probably 10 hours or so to get to level 21. It's quite scary, actually. Yeah. That's so definitely we have quite a bit of nerfing as far as XP goes.
For an ascended. Good luck.
I would have thought on a progression server where there are no pots for leveling, that you would have got your... I wonder if they give it to you or not. Let's have a look here quickly. I wonder if you actually get your... I wonder if you get your 40% boosts on this server as well or not, because... Or if that doesn't apply to this particular server. Because if you're complaining about the fact that people are really struggling with experience, that means they've just left the experience standard without the fine-tuning it to compensate for what they want you to buy, which is the 160% pots. Anyway, let's go and... I see it's night time here in the game. I've got to get up to about 2 platinum 50 so that I can actually buy a mount. I've got to speak to a healer. I forgot about that. Let's go this way. There's a healer over here. So you can take soul damage if you die. I have died quite a bit, so I must say.
Fare thee well.
But then again, I've never been an exceptionally good player of any kind. Eruption of life. Deal life damage. Wonder what... Alright, let's have a look here. Oh, that's actually a druid ability. I did not know that. It shows you how long ago it's been since I've actually played a cleric. I got hooked on a rogue for a while, but I haven't really played the game much since Storm Legion, Nightmare Tide time. That was pretty much where I had my fault. The Nightmare Tide was so buggy, though. It was really, really buggy. Disappointed that there's not... I mean, Warcraft has got auto-mentoring throughout all the zones. I would have thought that it would have it. Kind of sucks that it doesn't, eh? Oh well. I suppose you've got to stick to the quest line and hope to goodness that you actually manage to level up. Man, I'm still burning up from a fever. I had a tooth extracted and I had a violent reaction to the antibiotics, so they put me on something different. And it's still here. Wow. Yeah, well, like I said, I haven't got time to dedicate to this game. I'm essentially just playing it because, well, nostalgia. I wanted to see how the success would be of the launch. And I think it has been a major success for Tryon, actually. It really... Oh, being an idiot. Why am I running all this way? Hang on, what's that? There's something over there. Use the fumigator on overgrown life spores. Oh, what a cute little deer. I think I picked up this... see, that's an orange quest, so that's quite hectic. Maybe I shouldn't do it. There is a public group here, hopefully. I think it's very important that you participate in world events. Otherwise, you are going to struggle with experience. How much experience do you get for one of these? Do you get any? They are level 11. I seem to be getting XP, I'm getting reputation, but no experience. Is that right? I am getting some experience. There we go. Let's break this thing down. Man, it's been ages since I played this. Should get a bit of healthy experience for killing. Yeah, 595. Not bad, not bad. I think I need to go to this. I think my quest area is over here somewhere. Journey to King's Retreat and meet Zerelia Heshme. Let's go there. It's nice to see the zones full of people. Whether you like Tryon or don't like Tryon, I'm in the latter category. It's nice to see the game populated. That is what makes an MMORPG fun. People. Having people to play with. Dying, on the other hand, is not so fun. Why is he running away? I should have never played a bloody a melee class. I hate melee classes. Another quest over here. Yeah, Hallmark, don't even go there. I've been man down. I mean, it's been. When did I go? It was last week sometime, and I mean, I have been out of it. I mean, I can't tell you how bad I got. Even now, I mean, my heartbeat is shooting up from anywhere from 80 to 98 regularly, just sitting here. It's just bizarre. But unfortunately, I have an allergy to certain drugs, so it's kind of like sometimes you have to take things that don't necessarily agree with you. I must say I'm enjoying this. It's very nice seeing people in the game. If it wasn't for the fact that I had such a blatant adversity to trusting Tryon with anything, and if I had the time, because I'm busy emigrating to New Zealand, and I've got a lot of things to actually prepare for and get ready before I go, including studying, I'd probably spend some more time on this, but my schedule is just too limited, and much as I'm fond of this game, as soon as the newness wears off, or the nostalgia, it's really going to be the same old rift, which doesn't really impress me that much. Oh, there's a quest, I've got to do this. It's quite nice coming back now, 10 hours later, because earlier in the day there was just too many people here all over the place. I'm not getting too bad experience here. Heiderashta. I can't pronounce that, I'm terrible. Oh, there's a quest here.
Great sun and ascended. I am sure you can handle this.
When you said they nerfed experience, do you mean to say that you gain experience too quickly, or do you not have enough experience? know why they couldn't have just made the entire thing auto-mentoring. Just, you know, stay in the zone, like in Warcraft. I was actually dying to try that. I'd really like to see how that goes. What drove me off of that idea was the fact that about 3 or 4 months ago, I bought 3 Warcraft accounts and power leveled, with Recruit a Friend, I power leveled about all the classes to level 90, and I had about 3 level 110s as well. So, oh, that sucks. Okay, so you don't have any more quests.
Are you here to help?
Are you here to help? Okay, Benevolent Cape, that's the one. Find Atus Rester in Kalari Refuge.
Best of luck.
Alright, here we go. There's a repeatable quest over there. Let's go have a look at this. So yeah, this will definitely appeal to a certain
Best of luck.
Segment of the Rift community. People who want to start all over again in an economy where there is no outside influence in the form of, you know, faster leveling, no loot boxes, just people wanting to play the game and raid together, but with some nice quality of life improvements like, well, the new skill sets and what have you. Quest accepted. What quest? Oh, it's obviously a kill quest. Ah, crikey, you know what I forgot about? I can't loot that. Typical. I was supposed to pick up Gathering Professions when I was at the... when I was in the city, and I completely forgot about it. Oh well, I'm not going to be playing it long enough to worry about that. You can have 3 Gathering Professions, and you can have 2 characters per account. Apparently that is to limit the number of... basically to make the economy a lot better. In my opinion, they should just have 1 character on the Prime server, so that, you know, then you are completely and utterly dependent on each other. You can only have 3 professions, and you are reliant on other people. There it is. It's a ranged attack ability. Yeah, 30 meters. Deals life damage, surges an additional... It's also an instant ability. That must actually go there. Ooh, Wolf Flank. The item begins a quest. Let's go there. Collect wolf flanks from the wolves in Kendra's thicket. Little flame squirrel. I see the devs are busy joining, and there's Rough Raptor near Argent Glade. I'm just going to leave this group because I'm the only person in it at the moment that's in this facility. Oh, a cute little bunny rabbit. Okay. How's the game running over here? You see now, if there's no one in the vicinity, you get like 60 frames per second. Not bad. The second people come within your vicinity though, it slows down considerably. I don't know, this whole grinding mobs, killing the same things over and over, I think maybe I've gone off. I prefer more RPG type games nowadays, like I don't know, your Grand Theft Autos, your Skyrims, I bought a game the other day based on a recommendation of one of the guys that watch my stream called I think it's Elex, E-L-E-X. That looked quite interesting. I want to maybe give that a try. But this thing of, you know, playing a game and having to level up by killing mobs, by pressing one or a few buttons, where there's no real skill involved in this. I mean, it to me is exceptionally boring. It's kind of what's driven me away from most of the games. A March Wolf. Must say it's much nicer now that I can finally target from a distance. Prior to melee class is just terrible otherwise. At least I can tag it from a distance as I run towards it. Okay. I think I've had almost enough nostalgia already. Oh, there's a rift over there. And it's opening. Yay! Kendra's Thicket. Level 10. Let me open it. My first rift. Ta-da! Pop that over there and start killing things. Dragon Slayer has joined your group. Technicolor. Interesting. We have Bard playing here. It's nice to see this. This is fun. I mean, it's where you have people joining in. I missed this part of it. Not enough to subscribe permanently, but I did miss it. Man, a lot of people are joining in. Now watch the frames per second drop. I finished the quest. It does give you a decent feeling of nostalgia, I must say. Frame rate is sitting at about 40 right now. There's not that many people on the screen. There's only 1, 2, 3. There's only 6 of us now. So, but it has dropped by almost half. Yeah, so you put 20 people on the screen, and trust me, it'll fall considerably quicker. It's never been a well-optimized engine. I mean, even with the multi-core, apparently the only thing that's on the other core is shadows. So it's not really a... But it's playable. I mean, it's not like it's terrible. It's just... It's an old engine that's been modified. The Gambrio engine being heavily modified. It plays okay. I mean, I'm not struggling by any merge groups. Look at that Craven. That's my name. Spelt it wrong there. How's our frame rate going now? 30. There we go, on 30. ...24 frames per second. And there's what, maybe 20 people here? maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It drops like a stone. It's sad, but that's just what it is. And then it shoots up. As soon as people start walking away, you'll see it'll get better. 31, 32, 35, 36. There we're climbing. It's just a badly designed game engine. That's all there is to it. Nothing you can do. You walk into town here and you can watch the frame rate start falling. 32, 36, 39, there we go. Now it's going up. It's smoother. It really is. It's not
I can help you
as
cast
bad
a
as it
line.
used to be. Fishing lessons. Accept your first fishing pole. Okay, I'm not going to do fishing. I don't feel like doing fishing.
May your line never tangle.
May your line never tangle. Yeah, it's very smooth. It's not bad. It really isn't. That's what I'm saying. It's at the end of the day, you only need to have decent, sustainable frame rates at about 20 so that you can participate in raids.
Wisdom and life.
There we go. I can choose my my gloves. But it's, I don't know, maybe I've just over this sort of thing. And I don't enjoy this traditional form of questing anymore. I don't. Wield the power of Crucia. There's a cape. That's quite pretty, actually. That's a really nice outfit. I think I might keep that as my standard look. You won't see it on the shard list, Christopher. It's actually, look here. You see there? There's Rift and there's Rift Prime. You've got to update the client and then it's outside the... It's to make it appear separate. It's not separate though. It's the same bloody shards and things. It's just running on a slightly modified client. Using the same files as Rift Live. But... Man, there's a lot of people in this area, hey? And it shows 29 frames per second. Yeah, I don't know, guys. That's it. So what Rift Prime is a 2018 version of the game that has had the content above level 50 cut out. And what will happen is when the time comes, when people progress far enough, they'll unlock the next expansion on this server. It's a limited lifespan server. So what happens with the stuff you purchase while on this server or gain on this server and then transfer across to live when it finally gets transferred, nobody knows. It uses a completely different currency on this server. If you want to buy things with credits, you use something called Prime Credits. So as the game unlocks, so for example, somebody finishes River of Souls, enough people do it, they'll say, okay guys, another month or so, this is what I'm assuming, we're going to unlock Storm Legion's content, and then they'll unlock Storm Legion's content, and then when people have got up to that, they'll go, okay guys, now we're going to unlock Nightmare Tide's content, and at that point, after that, the game will turn to absolute drivel, because Starfall Prophecy was a terrible expansion, but then ultimately they'll eventually take you to the live version, and then when that content is cleared, then they will take you across to they'll shut down the servers and transfer all your stuff across to live, from what I understand. Now, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with this game on live, because it must be like a complete and utter ghost town at this point. But that is it. That's what Prime is. It's a return to nostalgia in the sense that it's a separate shard running on a client that utilizes files from the live version. But it is not Rift Chocolate. It is Rift that is from 2018 with the 28 talent trees, the 2018 client that has had the content gimped, restricted And the only part of the world you can access is, as you can see, the old... I don't even know if Ember Isle is available at this point. It probably is. I'm not sure. It appears to be very grayed out over there. If it is, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll be playing a heck of a lot more after this. I just thought I'd buy into it and see what it's like. If it was successful, I think for Tryon, this marketing idea has worked. I think people have bought into the idea that no cash shop or limited cash shop, limited services. This still irks me though. I don't know what. Maybe this becomes available and people can buy it for platinum because there's no price attached to it, and there's a price attached to this though. So I can buy my horse right now. This I think was grayed out earlier, so I'm hoping this is the same. Maybe it gives you that when you get to a certain level, but it's got a patron pass attached to it, so I don't think they'll give that away for free either. So it looks like, I don't know, services, nothing really there, and mounts and dimensions. Like I said, no idea what will happen if you'll get a refund if you have duplicates when you transfer your character from here to live eventually. Like I said, I'm not a great fan of Tryon Worlds, but I do think they've made something here, and they've taken a gamble and it's paid off, I think. Oh, we have a world event. Maybe I'll hang around for that. Now you can probably hear some sort of voice, like a all the Rift bosses in this game sound the same. They've never had really good voice actors as far as that goes. Okay, where the heck am I supposed to go? Over there. Ark of the Ascended.
I have a task for an Ascended.
Oh, I've got a...
May the world still be here tomorrow.
Okay, so getting experience is certainly not a problem. I thought there was a world event starting there for a second. Apparently not. Let me leave the party here. Hallmark, have a good one. Cheers. Yeah, I'm going to probably delete the video from last night because I get annoyed when people put copyright strikes against my stuff. It wasn't a severe copyright strike. It's one of the music videos that are in the music themes inside the game were flagged. So they just claim ownership of the video, and I don't like that. So I'll just... Ooh, that looks very pretty. All dusty and stuff. But I must say, my experience is positive. It's, I think they did something in a difficult situation with them losing so many developers. And this will buy them some time, so maybe they can fix the problems, get their dev team sorted out so that they can actually, hopefully, get things working on live again. That's very pretty, actually, eh? Don't you think? What is it? Alt-Z, I think? No. Control-Z? No. I don't remember. Alt-U? Control-U. There we go. Pretty. Yeah, it's nothing like... Ah! Yeah, okay. It's time to stop, I think. Okay. But yeah, that is Rift Prime. What it is and what it isn't. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I am now going to get some more coffee and take a bit of a break. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'm going to probably play Elder Scrolls Online. I don't enjoy this game. I'm sorry. I did it just purely for nostalgia. But yeah, that'll be pretty much my thing. Will be Elder Scrolls Online when I get a chance to play maybe a bit of War Thunder. But I hope you've enjoyed this stream and have a bit more information regarding Rift Prime. Until next time, thanks for watching. This is Wokies signing off.